Yeah, it's your boy AG, Cornerman Boxing. I'm my man Mikkel Lespierre, aka Slikk Mikk. Got a big night tomorrow night versus Jose Pedraza. First of all, thank you for your time, champ. How you feeling tonight?
Not a problem, man. And I feel great, man. I'm in a great mindset, physically and mentally.
Right, man. So I mean, you been buzzing, man. Like I've seen you, I mean, ESPN, like we everywhere we look, and it's great to see, one of the good guys in our sport get this shine because a lot of people may not know, but for us that have been familiar with you, you've always been hardworking, always been, training daily after work, 9 to 5. I mean, so just what does this mean for you, getting this special moment?
It feels everything, It feels good to be recognized, for my efforts outside of the ring. It feels good to get the opportunity that I've been blessed with, and I've and to be given to be getting the recognition for what I've been doing before the opportunity came, alongside with the opportunity has been the biggest blessing ever. This light that's being shined on me, it's all part of God's plan, and I just take heed to his path and make the best of the situation.
Amen to that, brother. And I mean, like everybody, they're like the headlines pretty much is that you were on the front lines battling, the COVID. You work as at a hospital. I believe it's the Mount Sinai Beth Israel. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So yeah, everybody's like, I mean, that's the headline pretty much. People are shocked that you still find a way to train and yet battle the COVID. But for us that know you, it's like, man, you've always been like this going back to your amateur days. So
That's a fact.
it's no surprise to us, man. You just let us know like a little bit about your story, you know what I mean, your passion, all the hours you put into your craft.
So, basically, as you know, I have a 9 to 5, and when COVID hit the department that I work for, they they closed down because we're a high risk department, ear, nose, and throat. Nose and throat are symptoms of COVID, so the doctors didn't want to take a chance with our health. So what they did was, being that I work at the front desk, I couldn't work from home. So they asked me if I wanted to be deployed. I said that's not a problem. So I was deployed to the hospital on First Ave and 16th, and I worked with the nursing administration department. Basically in charge, I was the runner for the department. I basically was in charge of, getting all the COVID supplies that they ordered and PPE stuff and everything that was necessary to get the units, the COVID units, up and running for whatever new patients would be registered, or whatever patient needs to be transferred from another from another facility, or whatever the case may have been. But it was basically based on COVID related patients. And I did not let that stop. My daily functions, I don't let it stop or get in the way of my training. So I found a way to make it work. Even there was no gym, I still, after work, acted like I was going to the gym. I put together a little program for myself, got my cardio in, got my boxing in. Like, you don't need a gym to be a boxer. I mean, you don't need a gym to train boxing training. So I just made the best of the situation and stayed as active as I could, so that when this opportunity did come, I know that I didn't slouch. I wasn't a slouch, and I wasn't being a couch potato, given the reason that there's no gym for me to not be active. So I jumped on it, and then I looked at it as one of the best opportunities for me in my career now, probably even better than the hooker, because after now the hooker fight, I know what I'm capable of. I know what it feels like to be at this level of the game, to compete at this level. And I feel like, Pedraza was just the perfect opportunity. He coming up from being a two-time former world champion, coming up from a lower weight, me being, probably the bigger guy. It played in my favor. Everything, that all aspects of it played in my favor. So I just was like, yeah, let's do this.
Right. And I mean, you must be feeling good because you're recently coming off a unanimous decision victory over Rudy Pierre Paul. You know what I mean? Is there anything you might have learned from that fight? Anything you felt after that?
Yeah, I felt with that fight, even though I won, it may not have looked like, I had a problem with him. The way that I cut the weight for that fight, wasn't in the best fashion, so my performance a little bit was affected by it, so I learned a lot from that fight. I'm a fighter, I know how to dig deep, I know how to get the job done. So being that I attacked this training camp differently, and due to the situation of COVID and a lot of places being closed, I had no choice, So I suffered in camp, as far as to get my weight down as low as I possibly can before I came out here. No matter how it affected my training, I didn't cry, I didn't complain. I just did what I had to do and got it done. Did it with the best, with all my energy and will. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that I took each day and I made it count.
Wow,
So,
yeah. We can tell, champ. I mean, it's very inspiring, the way you carry yourself and you dedicate yourself to this game.
Yeah, the way I look at life, if there's anything you want in life, you got to make whatever sacrifices necessary to get the job done, or to just see any type of progress. You can't achieve anything in life if you don't try to help yourself obtain it. You know what I'm saying? You have to have some type of stable ground and consistency to reap any type of progress in anything that you do, and that's how I attack it.
Right. Amen to that, champ. Now, I mean, how do you feel? Because, I mean, you're in the bubble, it's a whole new experience. How has this experience been for you? And how do you feel, fighting tomorrow in a stage with no fans?
The bubble is not that bad. In my younger days, I did all my partying and being out on the field. And so, as I got older and I started to take boxing more seriously, my comfort space is my home, my bed. Because I don't get much chance to lounge at home. So when I do get the opportunity, I indulge in it fully. So the bubble really didn't affect me. What probably affected me was the fact that I didn't have the tools needed to make the weight how I normally did. But that was a gift and a curse, because now it enlightened me on how to lose weight more better. Even from how long I've been boxing, probably 18 years I've been around this sport. And it took this COVID for me to get a better understanding on how to cut the weight, so everything is a learning experience. The bubble doesn't affect me. I was probably 7 pounds over when I got here on Sunday, and I was able to eat comfortably and work out and rest and, eat comfortably again and work out. So it didn't really affect me how it might affect people that are used to losing 15 pounds the day before the weigh-in, and in that aspect of it. I was good for it. I feel good, and I'm in a great mental space for tomorrow.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, this is just one of those cases where, the fighters just always stayed ready instead of, having to get ready.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And not to take nothing away from, it's not like I was on close to my weight, but I made whatever sacrifices before I came to before I took the fight. I wasn't nowhere near how I would normally weigh when I'm in the gym, if the gym was open. But I made whatever sacrifices I needed to make to get down appropriately, and so that it wouldn't be a problem for me. I wouldn't have to kill myself to make weight.
Right. Now, I mean, you being from Brooklyn, man, you get a lot of love back home, man. Usually the whole town comes out for you to support you. How's it gonna be, just not having the crowd there? Do you think it'll be a difference, or how do you feel with that?
I don't think it's gonna be much of a difference. I think it's more focused than anything, because it's not that much pressure. I know people that back home are gonna be watching me, but I can probably be more dialed into the game plan, and the focus will be there. It's like a high level, high intensity sparring match. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I'm going in there.
Right.
That's the mindset I'm going in.
Right. Now, champ, I mean, before we let you go, can you just let us know what kind of goals you have, what I mean, short term and as well as long term, because we believe sometimes when you speak it comes into existence. So just put it out there for us. What kind of goals you have in mind?
My first short term goal is to win this fight tomorrow night. And then once that's accomplished, then we can set another short term goal before the end of the year. That's it.
Nice. You fully locked in on getting that W, huh?
That's a fact.
That's amazing, champ. And like I said, man, it's awesome to know you getting this national exposure. It's good to see the good guys, getting rewarded for the sacrifice. And, just going back to what you said about being a homebody and indulging your home, I also want to congratulate you because I believe you recently became a parent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I just had a baby girl.
Wow, yeah, congratulations, champ. So I just really, wanted to congratulate you on that and pretty much wish you the best with your career going forward, champ.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Is there any final message you might have for, the kids you may inspire back home or throughout the world?
Anything you put your mind to, you can do. Growing up, you hear that saying a lot, but when you start to now repeat it in your mind and you start to try to do the things that's necessary in order for you to get to whatever goals that you're trying to reach, once the doors start opening up and things start becoming reality, then you're like, oh, wow, is this true? You can get it done. So just never give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, continue to do what your heart, continue to go in the direction that your heart steers you. Be passionate about it and give it 110%. And you will reap some type of progress or reward from it.
Absolutely, champ. Amen to that. And any shout outs you want to give to anybody out there?
I want to shout out my sparring partners, Matthew Gonzalez and Cordell Booker. They looked out for me, at a time when I needed them, and they didn't hesitate. You know what I'm saying? And anybody else that I reached out to that was willing to help me, I thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? And just my team in general. My manager, Jose Tavares. He's like my brother. My heart. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of things for me these past 6 years that I've been with him, and it's not even a manager-fighter relationship. It's more than that. So I just want him to know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely. And I've actually, I've met him. I've have a decent relationship with. He's an awesome individual. He's hard working. I know he's coming up, strong in this game. So shout out to Josie as well.
Likewise.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you got your focus locked in for tomorrow night on ESPN. I won't take up any much more of your time. So just want to thank you again and wish you the best, champ.
No problem. Thank you, and have a good night.
God bless, champ. See you soon.
Bye.